Hi everyone, thank you for coming back to my channel. In this video is the part 2 of the Notre Dame Cathedral burned down on April 15. And the first part of the video I discussed the symbolism behind the ritual, the Satanic ritual. And then now this part, the second part, I'm going to talk about the link between this Satanic ritual is linked to the phoenix rising from the ashes Satanic ritual, and also linked to Princess Diana human sacrifice ritual. And then the whole picture actually is described on Revelation 17. The second part of the video I will discuss the meaning of the Satanic ritual, the phoenix rises from the ashes. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, the meaning of 415 is no mercy without mercy. That's why they did it on the April 15, and also they assassinated Lincoln on the 15th, and also the Boston Marathon bombing. Here is the map between the Notre Dame Cathedral and Princess Diana human sacrifice ritual location. If you have already watched my previous video, the part 1, and also the Princess Diana Satanic human sacrifice ritual, you will know that this whole area, the river Seine, was for sacrifice for their pagan religion since the beginning of time. Similarly to the Virgin Mary, Princess Diana, had and still has legions of followers, worshipping her giving nature and her maternal energy. In other words, she seems to fulfill the almost inherent need in human beings to worship a female goddess, giver of life and filled with compassion. The media has been a key actor in the creation of this icon by documenting every detail of her fairy tale wedding, her troubled marriage, her humanitarian activities, and finally her ultimate untimely death. Diana has been elevated to the level of goddess in order to become the object of ritual sacrifice. This practice has been carefully planned by a secret group of illuminated people, often referred to as the Illuminati. It comprises world leaders such as the British monarchy, and they are known to be deeply versed into dark occult rituals. The cult of the Black Virgin. It was the early centuries of the Christian era that the ancient worship of the mother goddess was introduced to Christianity by Jews who had fled Israel and embraced Alexandrian Neoplatonism, which is just a rehash of Greek paganism. In ancient times, mankind worshipped the hosts of heaven, believing them to be gods and goddesses who ruled the pre-flood civilization of Atlantis. Ancient men believed that the constellation Virgo was the great mother goddess who ruled over a golden age called Lemuria, which preceded Atlantis. This astrological tradition was transmitted to successive pagan cultures through the ages of mankind. Some of the mythical representations of Virgo are Nana, Eve, Ishtar, Demeter, Hecate, Diana, etc., and Isis here. Virgin Mother, all representations of the Great Mother in some form, she who existed before the masculine gods of ancient and classical methodology. In fact, the worship of the Virgin Mary in the Roman Catholic Church, along with the entire body of Catholic tradition, can be traced to the worship of Isis in Egypt. Immaculate is Our Lady Isis, the very terms applied afterwards to that persona, the Virgin Mary, who succeeded to her form, titles, symbols, rites, and ceremonies. Thus, her devotees carried into the new priesthood the former branches of their profession, the obligation to celibacy, the tonsure, and the surplice, omitting, unfortunately, the frequent ablutions prescribed by the ancient Greek, the black virgins, so highly referenced in certain French cathedrals, proved, when at last critically examined, basalt figures of Isis. Now let's take a look of the duration between Diana's death and April 15. Here is 21 years, 7 months, and 15 days. Let's take a look of the meanings of the numbers. 15 Strong's desire. 7 to perish. 21 my father, which is our God, Jesus Christ. Here is the duration between President Trump's birthday and April 15. If you have watched my video, I think it's the Julian Assange arrested gematria meanings video. On the list, President Trump's name's there, and also Queen Elizabeth. So I wanted to show you the meanings of the two birthdays against the April 15. 26,604 days, which is 2664. 72 years, 10 months, and 2 days. 2664 means to cause to cease. 64 means to catch by hunting. 72 means to carry away. 12 means bottomless, the bottomless pit, and destruction. Queen Elizabeth's birthday, April 21st, 1926. 33,962 days, so that's 3396 or 369, and then 92 years, 11 months, and 25 days. 11 means destruction, 25 means love. Revelation 17, King James Version. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show you unto thee the judgment of the great war that sit upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with blood of the saints, and with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. And the angel said unto me, Wherefore did thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman, and of the beast that carrieth her, which hath the 7 heads and 10 horns. The beast and thou sawest was, and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit, and go into perdition. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was, and is not, and yet is. And here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth. And he saith unto me, The waters which thou sawest, where the wall sitteth, are peoples, and multitudes, and nations, and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the wall, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. For God hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree, and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of God shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. Phoenix bird occult symbol. The phoenix bird is an ancient occult symbol. It is one of the oldest occult symbols in the world, having been invented in the Egyptian Satanic mysteries. Occultists believe that only one of these maleficent birds lives at any one time and lives to be about 500 years old. Then it self-immolates and its body is reduced to ashes. However, a new phoenix bird immediately arises out of these ashes to live another 500 years. The phoenix bird is a symbol of Lucifer. The phoenix is believed to be a divine bird going back to Egypt. This phoenix destroys itself in flames and then rises from the ashes. Most occultists believe that the phoenix is a symbol of Lucifer, who was cast down in flames and who they think will one day rise triumphant. This, of course, also relates to the rising of Hiram Abiff, the Masonic Christ, exposing Babylon. In ancient Greek and Egyptian mythology, the phoenix is a mythical bird associated with the Egyptian sun god Ra and the Greek god Phobos, Apollyon, or Abaddon in Hebrew, which is the Satan, Lucifer. It is a symbol of death and resurrection. Lately, the rising of the phoenix ritual is being displayed all around us, from ceremonies to TV shows, music albums, and even some strange incidents around the globe. According to Manny P. Hall, 33-degree Freemason, the phoenix will rise again. The time will come when the secret wisdom shall again be the dominating religious and philosophical urge of the world. The day is at hand when the doom of dogma shall be sounded. The great theological Tower of Babel, with its confusion of tongues, was built of bricks of mud and the mortar of slime. Out of the cold ashes of lifeless creeks, however, shall rise Phoenix like the ancient mysteries. So the rising of the phoenix displayed at the London Olympics closing ceremony. Actually, the London Olympic is a satanic ritual. So here's the phoenix rising from the ashes. Observe carefully in the previous photo how they place behind the phoenix in the background many blue all-seeing eyes inside pyramids. Here. Barbara Walker, in her occult book Now is the Dawning, page 281, wrote that Egyptians believed that the phoenix was the representation of a god who rose to heaven in the form of a morning star like Lucifer. Actually, it's Lucifer, the Satan, after his firm fire immolation of death and rebirth. So he's a triangle, and then they're doing the rituals. Satanic Pyramid representing the New World Order of the Ages being displayed at the London Olympic closing ceremony. The pyramid should be seen as a symbol of the Babylon kingdom, standing its last ground against Jesus Christ, the sun god. Their final goal will be to unite all the nations under the New World Order of the Beast as described in Revelation 17. Talking about the Phoenix, the pyramid, and the all-seeing eye, Manny P. Hall says. The combination of the phoenix, the pyramid, and the all-seeing eye is more than a chance or coincidence. There is only one possible origin for these symbols, and that is the secret societies, which came to this century 150 years before the Revolutionary War. Most of the patriots who achieved American independence belonged to these societies and derived their inspiration, courage, and high purpose from the ancient teaching. There can be no question that the Great Seal was directly inspired by these orders of the human quest, and that it set forth the purpose for this nation as that purpose was seen and known to the founding fathers. Here's the all-seeing eye, here's the pyramid, and the phoenix rising. Here, from the ashes, fire, and rituals. Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of prostitutes and the abominations of the earth. Babylon the prostitute. Revelation 17:5. The phoenix represents the dying god that rises from the ashes and completes the capstone of the Illuminati pyramid. It is the Antichrist New World Order taking over the nations. Manny P. Hall describes that dying god and the pyramid in his book, The Secret Teachings of All Ages. The dying god shall rise again, which is Lucifer, Satan, shall rise again. The secret room in the house of the hidden places shall be rediscovered. So it like all ties into Harry Potter, right? Hidden secret room. They have a secret chamber, and they also have the phoenix rise up from the ashes, and the snake, which is the Satan, the beast, and Voldemort actually is Satan, the Antichrist. So it took 7 years for Harry Potter to conquer over Voldemort. So actually, they use Lucifer, Satan as Harry Potter because, like I mentioned in my previous video, Oh Harry means devil. Then the lightning bolt represent Satan on Harry Potter's forehead. Potter is God, so they think that Lucifer is God and is Harry Potter fighting against Jesus Christ. They thought that Jesus Christ is Voldemort, but actually Voldemort and the Beast is Satan. So 7 years, which is the tribulation 7 years, end time 7 years, sorry. The first 3.5 years, which is like peaceful and seems peaceful, but like spiritually they start the war already. And then now we are in this transition time into the next, the end of the end times, which is the last 3.5 years, the tribulation, which is exactly the same as the last 3 books of Harry Potter. The spiritual war and the physical war has begun. Okay, The pyramid again shall stand as the ideal emblem of solidarity, inspiration, aspiration, resurrection, and regeneration. As the passing sands of time, furry civilization upon civilization beneath their weight, the pyramid shall remain as the visible covenant between eternal wisdom and the world. The time may yet come when the chants of the illuminated shall be heard once more in its ancient passageways, and the master of the hidden house shall await in the silent place for the coming of that man who, casting aside the fallen seas of Domac and Tenet, seeks simply truth and will be satisfied with neither substitute nor counterfeit. So I think that's why the Hollywood promoting the Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter for the past at least more than 10 years. They are preparing for this moment, and the stories actually is based on what it is in the real world behind the scene. According to the Bible, it's all there. The phoenix of Banu is believed to be a divine bird going back to Egypt. This phoenix destroys itself. French Catholic churches were being desecrated week prior to Notre Dame Cathedral burning. Now we know that the burning of Notre Dame Cathedral is a satanic ritual. The phoenix rises from the ashes, and this is very significant timing because that is exactly 1 month before the 71st year begins. And then according to the Revelation 17, actually God, Jesus Christ, he used them to destroy the mystery Babylon, the whore, the prostitute. So they actually fell into the trap that burning their own pagan church. Okay, so I would like to recommend a few YouTube channels to you guys because these particular incidents also related to time ritual that the Satanists try to reset the time by the end of this year back to year 2012 that I mentioned in my previous video. And one of the YouTuber is the Open Scroll, and then the second one is Exit Time. Both of them talked about the time rituals that they have been cooperating into movies, TV series, and TV commercials, etc. Their plan is to reset the time back to year 2012. I'm not so sure why. I think maybe they found out that they made a mistake, so they want to reset the time. Anyway, so I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.